Your attic may be sealed tight, but that doesn't mean that humidity can't still sneak in. I'm going to explain to you why that humidity control in a conditioned and air-sealed attic is so important. So why does humidity matter in an unvented attic system? Well, let me explain. You've created this conditioned space and you don't need that traditional ventilation like the soffit vents anymore, but you do need to make sure the air still moves up there because it is a conditioned space, which means you're likely using it and you're storing things up there. That high humidity can lead to all kinds of problems like condensation, mildew growth, mold growth. It can also lead to damage. Any place where that humid, thick, moist air can touch in the wood parts of your attic, it can cause all kinds of wood damage. So those are things that you're going to want to keep in mind as to why keeping that humidity in check is really important. So how does that humid air even get into your attic to begin with? Say you only air seal your attic. That means that you still have air leakage in the other living areas of your home. So air is leaking in and out. We'll say the walls, for example. Your conditioned air inside, because there's no air seal protecting it, is leaking out near the walls, in the crawl space, things like that. That means there's not enough conditioned air to actually make its way up into the attic and circulate back down. Now, the same is true that you're having air leaking into your home. Now, the outdoor air, it's definitely going to be more humid than your indoor air, and any of that makes its way up into the attic is going to definitely add to that humidity problem. So another way that humidity is getting in there is if you have a bathroom fan or a stove vent, or even both, that aren't properly ventilated. Now, those things should be vented to go outside of your home, but there are many instances that we've seen where they're just pumping hot, moist air directly into the attic. Now, if that's the case, you're definitely going to want to have that fixed and make sure those are venting outdoors and not into your conditioned space. I did talk a little bit about air leaks, and that's going to be true too, because as the seasons change, that's going to make two different temperatures meet if the rest of the house is not air sealed. Say it's wintertime, you've got warm air inside your house, then you've got colder that's able to leak in. When hot and cold mix, that's going to create moisture, which is going to circulate in the home. That's going to also lead to higher humidity levels. One way to fix that is to make sure that those are all sealed up, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So how do you even know that you have a humidity problem in your attic? It's pretty easy to tell. If you go up there and it smells really musty, that's because there's moisture in the air. Do you notice condensation in there? That's definitely a red flag that something is happening with moisture in the air in the attic. Anything that you store up there, like if you keep tools or anything metal up there and it's starting to rust, it's another good indicator that there's moisture in the air and that needs to be taken care of. Now, you're going to want to check it seasonally to see what's happening up there. And you want the humidity to be between 30 and 50%. Anything below that, you're going to kind of not feel great. Anything above that, you're going to start to feel moisture in the air. It's going to feel sticky and gross. But how exactly do you control it? Completely sealing your building envelope, that's a great way to go because that's going to make it so that all that outside air stays out where you want it. Your conditioned air that you pay to heat and cool is going to stay inside, which means it's going to be able to circulate better up into the attic because it's not leaking out anywhere. Add HVAC, supply and return vents into the attic, which will help circulate air in that space, which will help keep that humidity in check. You can get a hygrometer. You can go up, check it, see what the humidity is at and what action you need to take. Now, an easier thing to do would be to get a fan. Now, this fan's going to have a special sensor on it, and anytime that it detects humidity, it's going to kick on and circulate air in the space. So that is actually a pretty easy way to make sure that you have airflow in that space. Now, if you notice any kind of moisture or humidity issues and you actually see visible condensation or the beginning of mold and mildew growth in your attic after you've spray foamed your roof deck, you're going to want to take care of that immediately to make sure that you avoid any kind of issues and problems further down the line. If you want to learn more about foam insulation, check out our Learning Center. There you're going to find tons of articles, resources, and videos to answer all of your building science questions. I'm your building science brainiac, reminding you to bring a little science to every project.